Hey YouTube, welcome back to Live Long and Freeze Dry. Today we got kind of a mixed bag. Just going through the fridge and getting stuff out, making room for... I make meals for the kids. They were on a meal thing where they had them delivered, and they found out I can do the same thing and it doesn't cost them near as much. Basically just charge them for the ingredients. But while I was doing that, I needed room in the fridge, so we took some stuff out to freeze dry. It's kind of a mixed bag today. First tray we got is a package of mushrooms. Mushrooms freeze dry really well. Put them in a jar, and if you want to make an omelet or put them in some stew, you've got them ready to go. Been wanting to try to do some dairy products. I had a lot of cream cheese left over. I was supposed to make some West Newbury pies. I'll have to share that recipe with you sometime. And so I thought I'd try some cream cheese. Haven't done that before. We'll see how that turns out. And then here in this one, another thing that I've been wanting to do is some cottage cheese. We like to have cottage cheese in our taco soup. And obviously whenever I make a lasagna, I use cottage cheese. I just rinse it before I put it in. Makes it a little bit more like the ricotta. And then I got some chicken breast from the store yesterday and cooked it all up. Decided, you know what? Can't use all of this. I'm going to have to freeze dry some of it. So we've got 2 trays of chicken breast that has been seasoned. It has been velveted, where you season it, sprinkle your baking soda over it, and let it sit a little bit. It helps to tenderize the meat. And then it was cooked in the sous vide, and then I sliced it up. And we're gonna go ahead and run it through the freeze dryer, put it in some Mylar bags, and put it back for long-term storage. So we've got our machine loaded up. I did earlier this morning do a full clean out. I vacuumed the evaporator coil. I took the tray heaters out, wiped it all down, cleaned the inside of the drum with alcohol, wiped everything down, and we're good to go. So we're going to do this on the meat cycle and see how that runs up for us. He's got it at 9 hours of freeze time, but because it's been in the freezer and it's already frozen, I'm going to go ahead and start it and then reduce the freeze time down to about 4 hours and see how that works. I did run a batch of sour Skittles yesterday, and so I use my old vacuum pump when I do candy, because it doesn't have to get as low, and this was not holding a good low vacuum. And so I've kind of hooked it up where I can segregate the new vacuum pump from the old vacuum pump. This vacuum pump I use for every run I do except for candy. Candy, I use this pump here. So I'm going to swap out the plug here so that I know that this pump will be ready to go. I did drain all the water out of that this morning from yesterday's runs, and we're all set to go. It'll be tomorrow afternoon sometime when this batch is ready, and we'll go ahead and get her pulled out. And I'm really interested to see how the cream cheese and the cottage cheese do. And then, I'm going to put some in long-term storage, some I'll take upstairs and keep in the pantry upstairs for cooking with. And I'll let you know what kind of results I get with that. So we'll be back here sometime tomorrow to finish up the video, taking it out and packaging it up. Appreciate you guys stopping by. If you're looking at possibly getting into the freeze drying thing so you can so you can have a little bit more food security in your own situation. Give my the guys up here at Blue Alpine, give them a look. They've got some really cool stuff going on. I was telling Becky this morning, I kind of wish I had a way to get their new unit. They've got a new product. It's the same freeze dryer, but they've done a lot of tweaks to it. The warming trays each have their own sensor, and so you can dial in that heating better. And they've got some new software options where you can, let's say you find a setting for a certain type of food product that you're going to freeze dry that works really well. You can program that in and have that as an option where you can just go right back to it and get the same result every time. I'm finding that for most of my stuff, using the meat cycle does seem to work the best. Even for like soups and stews, it does seem to dry it the best. Obviously the fruit cycle, you know, run your fruit on the fruit cycle. You can't beat it. You just can't. Same thing with the candy. They've got it pre-programmed for the candy, works perfect every time. I've not done delicates. I've not really used the liquid setting, basically because I don't just freeze dry straight liquids a lot. If I do, maybe sometime I'll try it, see what the results are, and take some notes on that. But we'll be back when this is done, and we'll let you know how it turned out. Thanks for showing up. Hey YouTube, we're back to check on the Blue Alpine freeze drying stuff we got going right now. The machine says I've still got 3 hours, but the pressure inside the chamber is 737 mTors, which is about 500 below the level where the sublimation happens, the heating of the trays and temperature inside. We're going to go ahead and pause this thing. I will equalize the pressure, and we'll pull this stuff out and see how it's done. Some tray of the chicken meat. Give it a quick. Oh yeah, that's done. That tray chicken. Mushrooms. And here's the stuff we were experimenting with. The cream cheese. It's just powder. And lastly, the cottage cheese. I do believe everything is complete. Oh wow. Okay. So basically this looks like the cottage cheese has got the consistency of a lumpy powdered milk, which makes sense because it's milk. I'll give it a little taste test here real fast. Tastes like cottage cheese. Imagine that. Okay. Let me see here. That's probably too big. Here's what I'm looking for. Get the funnel here. So there we get one package of cottage cheese, which came out of one tub. Dang. Get an oxygen absorber in there. I don't know how long it'll be before I try to use this. Today is 10th, 12, 10, 25. And cream cheese I'm just going to put in this jar. Honestly, I'm thinking that well, the experiment kind of worked. I don't really see that I'll ever do that again. There's just not enough, I don't know, value to the process of doing the cottage cheese and the cream cheese. I mean, yeah, long-term storage, fine. I'll have some even if we can't get some anywhere else. But I don't believe that, like I said, I don't believe it's something that I'll put on my list of regular products that I do on a regular basis. I did a load of sour Skittles the other day. That's probably another one that now I'm not going to be doing again anytime soon. It just wasn't, I don't know, didn't float my boat. Becky seems to like them. I had her take the whole, except for that there, I had her take a whole quart jar to her work. Her staff really loved their Skittles, and some of them had commented, you know, was I ever going to do the sour ones? So that's how that came about. Now this chicken is going to go into the long-term storage. I think right now we probably have, oh, I don't know, a couple 100 pounds of meat that has been set for long-term storage. Losing my mind here. But yeah, get the chicken here that'll add to our meat, our protein stores. Feeling pretty good about how much we've accomplished. We haven't even had the machine for a year yet. And we've gone from having a pantry with maybe, you know, 50 or 60 canned goods and some flour and so forth, to having, like I said, all these buckets and tins and jars filled with staples and meals in case of a worldwide meltdown or even a local meltdown. You know, it doesn't take much in the form of inclement weather around here to get everything shut down. There's a hill that leads out of the neighborhood, and it's really the only way in and out of the neighborhood without adding an extra mile or two to your trip. And they get a little snow and ice on that hill, and you can always count on one of these teenage drivers to get halfway up the hill and get stuck, and then everybody else is stuck. Gotta love this vacuum sealer. So I can take and add these 2 jars. Let me write this one so I'll remember. One of the things with even with the vacuum sealed jars, you want to pay attention to the lids. Some of these jars have been on here for 7-8 months, and periodically you want to just go ahead and tap all the lids and make sure they're down. I know I've had to reseal the garlic powder several times. Same thing as if you jar up onions, I don't know what you said, they off gas or whatever. And I was walking up the stairs yesterday with an armful of trays from the previous run to get ready for another one, and I heard ping ping came down here, and both of the garlic jars that had been on there for 4 or 5 months had popped the seal. Okay, I'm going to get ready for the next run. What I'm going to do here is move the pump, lower the front down, and get some towels. This is a procedure that I do after every run, and I know it's not necessary, but I'm paranoid that I'm gonna prematurely wear the pumps out, and I don't want that. These things are not cheap. I want to make sure that I can make it last as long as possible. So here's the 3-stage filter that Blue Alpine sent me. That top piece that I took off, the black piece, was kind of a charcoal filter to catch any smells, any odors coming off. You know, if you're doing a bunch of onions, or heaven forbid you're doing like salmon or something, ugh. But I take the filter, take the filter medium out, and you can see that it's got some liquid, even looks like maybe a little bit of the oil got sucked in there. So I'll set it here kind of at an angle, prop it up a bit, and I'll turn the fan onto it and just let that sit until I'm ready to do another run, at which time, come on you chooch. Yeah, at which time it'll be dry, clean, ready to reassemble, put back in. We'll let the pump sit there for, oh, I don't know, till maybe tonight or tomorrow morning, depending on if I get another batch ready. And that will allow the oil and water to separate. And then, like in that other video I did, open the drain valve, catch the stuff as it comes through. It comes out as water first, and then it'll start dropping some oil after you shut it off. Level it back out, top off your oil, and throw the oil water mixture, let it settle, and then throw it in the freezer to separate the ice. The water will freeze to ice, and then the oil just pours off the top. So there you are, guys. We did our experiment with the cottage cheese and the cream cheese. We'll call that a fail, but the chicken came out great, the mushrooms came out great, and we'll call those a win. If you like the content, I would appreciate it if you give me the thumbs up thing. Consider subscribing. If you have any questions, or there's anything that you think you'd like to see me try as far as getting the freeze-dried product out, go ahead and leave something in the comments. shoot me a message. And again, I can't recommend these guys at Blue Alpine too much. I mean, enough. They've been great. The machine is incredible. I haven't had to deal with long waits for any kind of questions being answered. Did have an issue with the vacuum pump. They went over it with me. They sent me new electronics to put in the top, updated stuff. They sent me a new pump. They've worked with me. Yeah, I'm not affiliated with Blue Alpine, but before I bought the thing, I did some research on the Harvest Right and the Stay Fresh, and then the Blue Alpine. And the main thing that I got comments that I saw that made me go with Blue Alpine was the customer service thing. People with another company were waiting weeks, even months, for an issue to be resolved, and you don't want to have a $4,000 piece of equipment in your house that's sitting there gathering dust because you're waiting for somebody at customer service to call you back, help you figure out an issue. So yeah, these guys are great. Check them out. If you do decide to invest in one, maybe wait a little bit and invest into the elite one. That's the one I want. Still trying to talk the wife into possibly getting one. I'll let you know how that goes. Thanks again, YouTube. Thanks for coming to Live Long and Freeze Dry. And be well, be safe.